Welcome back, everyone, to theCUBE's live coverage here at the New York Stock Exchange. This is our East Coast access point hub for theCUBE. Of course, Silicon Valley and Palo Alto, connecting tech and Wall Street, part of theCUBE and the NYSE wired community. Robotics and AI leaders are here. We had a great guest, Matt Rogers, co-founder and CEO of Mill. Great to have you on. Great career, by the way. Congratulations on all your endeavors and successes. This one is super exciting because no one likes trash.
No one likes trash.
Welcome to theCUBE.
That's why I'm doing it. It's one of those things, you know, you get the bug, you just got to run and do it.
Okay, so let's talk about what you're working on, Mill, because this is a cool project. You had a stellar career, and everyone knows Nest. That was a huge outcome with Google, the beautiful devices, intelligent,
yes.
People who have them love them. And now you're working on something really new and compelling. And you don't have to do this. I mean, you can just hang out at the beach and play golf, but no, you're not. You're kicking ass and taking names with this new venture. Talk about what you're working on.
Yeah, so I'm one of those kind of guys who sees a problem and I've got to fix it. This is one of those things that, like, no one's happy with waste. You know, and it's one of those things that we live with every day, we take for granted, but it doesn't have to be that way. So started Mill back in 2020, in like the peak days of the pandemic when we were all stuck at home, bored out of our minds, and living in our own filth. So started a company to make food recycling really easy. So we've all dealt with like stinky trash and fruit flies, or if you live in New York, you've got rats in your house. It doesn't have to be that way. Yeah. So we made a product that's beautiful, easy to use. It takes all your food waste, dehydrates it, so it's absolutely odorless and then really easy to recycle. You could compost it in your garden. City can come pick it up. There's all sorts of stuff you could do with food other than throw it in the trash.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things about your career has been awesome is that you had a lot of runs, some pretty iconic things. I love the simplicity concept, right? I mean, this is not new to you. You think that way, but no one thinks about, okay, waste it smells, all the things you said, but to make an elegant product too. Yes. It's in the kitchen. Everyone spends all their time in the kitchen.
That's exactly
Whenever you have a party, everyone's in the kitchen, right? So.
That's right.
It's got to fit in there. That's your most common space. Talk about your thinking behind that, because there's a product aesthetic.
Yes.
Then there's like the technology.
Yes.
Start with the aesthetic first, because I want to do that.
So today, you're cooking your dinner. You've got leftovers. The easiest thing to do is just throw it in the trash or put it down the sink. And if you think about changing that behavior, what are the things you could do to do that? And this is what we did at Apple. This is what we did at Nest. How can you make a product experience that's easier than what we used to do? And it's hard to beat the trash can. That's pretty easy. So we had to make a product that's beautiful. So you actually wanted to have it in your house. It's something you want to display and show your friends. Make it odorless, because no one likes stinky trash. No one likes a chore, so can you take out the trash less frequently? Yeah. And look, like, when you add all these things together, an object that you actually want to have, easier experience, you start to bring people in. And then once you live with it, you tell your friends, because you're like, oh, I'm never going to go back to stinky trash, or who likes that? And
just explain the product real quick, because I think this is compelling. And there's also, we'll get into the whole downstream, post-supply chain trash. What do you call it? Is there a word for that? Downstream benefit of what goes on in our world.
Yeah, so today it's a waste stream. So we made a product, think of it like AirPods, but like an AirPods looking trash can. Like, it's beautiful, it's sleek, it's white. It's like the team at Nest designed it, because we did.
Yeah.
It's got a beautiful wood top. You step on the pedal, it opens up. You put all your dinner scraps in automatically overnight. It takes the water out and dehydrates it. You look in the next morning, and it looks like soil. It looks like coffee grounds. It's gone. You're like, wait, where'd the banana peels go? How'd they turn into these coffee grounds overnight? And it feels like magic, but it actually isn't magic. It's just dehydration.
Yeah. So what's the use case from a product standpoint? So overnight, it does all that work. Is there a 24-hour? How much? Does it get full? I mean, at some point,
it takes forever to fill up.
Okay, so explain. Because people might not be able to visualize it.
I mean, it's like a bottomless pit. So like, you fill it up. Like, let's say like you had a whole dinner party. You've got scraps. You did a fridge clean out. You fill it up. You wake up the next morning and it's empty. And the way this works is food is mostly water. So actually, it's not rocket science. Like, if you take the water out of food, it gets small. And, it's like when we used to send out astronauts to the space station. They didn't pack water. Like, you send them with astronaut food. It's actually a very similar concept. So like, when you dry it out, it gets small, but also it doesn't smell anymore. Like, the bacteria don't work if it's dry. So like, it doesn't rot. Yeah. It doesn't go bad. So like, our bin, which is the size of a normal kitchen trash can, takes 3 to 4 weeks to fill up.
How much does it cost?
So it costs about $1,000. And it's built like a premium kitchen appliance. Again, like the team at Apple and Nest designed it.
Awesome, cool. Talk about the waste stream. 'Cause I didn't know the name of it, but it's called the waste stream. So that's the world problem that this solves. So there's actually a hidden dual bottom line opportunity here.
That's right. So today, we throw out about 1/3 of the food we grow. So like, that's like, every time you go to the grocery store, you just leave one bag in the in the parking lot every time. It's like we waste a lot of food. It's bad for our wallets. Yeah. What a waste, right? So what we've done is by dehydrating this food, we've made it shelf stable. So all of a sudden you stop the clock on it rotting. So you could do stuff with it now. You could compost it, you could use it in your garden, you could feed it to animals like chickens to make more eggs. You could use it as an energy source. There's all these things you could do with food, but when it's rotting, you got to get it out fast, right?
Yeah.
You got to get it to the curb as fast as possible.
Yeah, nothing good happens downstream, the waste stream, as they call it.
That's right. So today, we throw our food, it goes in the trash, it goes to landfill, and it makes methane. Which is like, what a waste, right?
Yeah,
like,
and they have to engineer the landfills to make sure that doesn't blow up.
That's right.
So talk about can you scope, or have you done the at least probably the thought exercise, I'm sure you have, the scope and quantified value if we all got this? Let's just say it was subsidized, or even people got it down to the price point for everyone.
Yeah.
What would be the impact? Do you have any order of magnitude scoping?
Oh my gosh.
What would it be like from I'm trying to visualize it.
It's epic. So, hundreds of millions of tons of food a year that would be then returned into the food system. We actually could make a dent in global hunger, food prices, let alone the emissions impact and decarbonization impact. Like that aside, like the economic impact is vast. Again, we throw out 1/3 of the food we grow. That's a lot of food.
So this would be a cumulative benefit to society and the world.
That's right.
Big time on the climate side.
That's why we're doing it. Like, there's an opportunity to build a better product experience that's good for the planet and good for our wallets. Like, that's win-win.
Yeah, I love the whole Apple Nest vibe with the design and product. That's cool. Cause I'm thinking about the kitchen where everyone's always in the kitchen. But there's also the benefit. Is there a bigger version coming for, say, restaurants?
Yeah.
Because that's would be like just a benefit. Think about the impact there.
Now you're in my head. So like we started with people at home.
Yeah.
That's about half of where food waste comes from. But the other half is like grocery stores, restaurants, offices. Like there's a whole spectrum of other opportunities out there where we could help recycle food. So yes, like we started at home, but we're very quickly going to grow into commercial, enterprise, and even larger scale.
So I got to ask, you've been very successful. You had a great outcome with your last venture. Apple obviously probably still Apple stock probably they're doing it. You're not hurting right now. You're doing a lot of philanthropy, catalytic investing, you call it, which is a term for like accelerating. And
that's right.
You're building a company now. You're back in the game.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work. I mean,
I'm an entrepreneur. I love it.
Okay, you love it. Okay, that's what I wanted to get to. So talk about that. Now,
Yeah.
let me ask the next question, which is when you put the venture together, what was the venture architecture? Because there's some really cool, innovative impacts, capital structures now that align missions. I'm doing a lot of work in this area where impact or foundation's not working. Philanthropy's been terrible track record. I think they've tripled the numbers and the outcomes, still a small percentage, but the outcomes are not getting better. So like the more they put in, the less impact. So there's a lot of discussion in that community around that. But tech and entrepreneurship are aligning with these new ventures. We're seeing some cool work. Susan McCormick at Forrest & Morris is doing some interesting capital structure kind of alignment. So kind of now corporate governance.
That's right.
What's your vision around that? Are you doing any of that? Are you thinking about that?
We actually, it's interesting you asked. Like we actually did some innovative stuff here.
Yeah.
So when we started Mill, my partner Harry and I, we incorporated as a public benefit corporation. So like
PBC.
So
nice.
Indeed.
Like Patagonia.
Like Patagonia. So like we're a for-profit company.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like, and profit is really important for our mission, but the mission is also really important. And by being a public benefit corporation, it allows us to have a discussion at the board level about not just our fiscal mission, but also like what is our impact mission, and like it becomes part of the board discussion too. How
did you guys just pop into your head? We're going to do that, or did you actually give it some intentional thought? Like, hey, how do we design this? Was it a reaction, or did you guys?
No, this was all by design. Well, I had spent a lot of time before starting Mill in my post-Nest life working with the folks at B Lab who do the B Corporation certification, learning about like how do the most conscientious corporations structure, how does governance work, how they make decisions, and being a public benefit corporation is a good first step to doing it. It actually allows the mission to be part of the charter of the company, which, look, fundamentally, like, we're about ending landfill, like keeping food out of landfill and improving recycling. There's public good here, but also there's a fiscal and profit component.
Yeah, there's a business opportunity.
That's right, huge business opportunity.
How's it going? Have you learned anything? And people are starting to talk about this, not yet in mainstream, but it's kind of an innovation that leverages how tech's innovating at speed right now.
That's right. Well, if you think about like the waste category, waste is a several $100 billion a year business. And tech and AI has not yet hit the waste industry.
Yeah.
And that's what I see as the opportunity here. Yeah. Can we use AI, robotics, great consumer tech, design to improve the experience, to improve efficiency at scale?
You know, I think that's such a great point, Matt, because AI is kind of hitting the first low-hanging fruit industries. We see it now, it's tech industry, finance, healthcare. Now you're starting to see pharma and some bio. I just had a great interview with Robotics around some of the stuff around cell generation. It's just the way they're using software and hardware together right now is so scalable.
That's right.
And with the open source constructs out there, people are actually building connectors into these systems.
That's right.
And some companies don't even know that that's possible. Yeah. So a new kind of architectural business landscape's emerging.
That's right.
And I think AI is going to hit waste. It's going to hit media, the world we're in. It's going to hit all these areas that are struggling, either because they're leaning on old business models, or they don't have the right management, or both.
Right. It's all about data. Like, you have to have the data set to act on. And what we're building already, so our mill bins are connected to the internet. They're full of sensors. And actually, we've already built one of the largest data sets in food waste in existence.
And what does it look like? What's the data look like?
So like, how many pounds people are putting in per day, how often things get emptied, when do people take their trash to the curb.
So you can quantify in real time.
Yes. So I could tell you that Sunday is the biggest trash day of the week. Like, it's because we have that granular data. Now, if you do this at scale, you can imagine building an entire AI network around waste.
Yeah, and supply chain, all kinds of impact on logistics.
That's right. So like the garbage truck comes to my house every Tuesday.
Yeah, they're disappointed.
Really,
Where is it all?
Why is it coming on Tuesday? Like, could it come a different day and skip that Tuesday because my bin isn't full yet?
Yeah.
And like other operational savings that could be had there.
Yeah, and it's super, super interesting. So many levels of innovation that you're working on. So excited you came in. On the waste product, I want to get just one final point on that. It's available now to anyone.
To anyone, yes, all throughout the U.S.
And then just go to the website.
Build.com.
Build.com, download it, form, fill it out, it's shipped to my house.
Yeah.
So I can get
one
tomorrow.
Easy.
All right, I'm definitely getting one.
Like the team at Nest designed it. It looks very similar.
All right, what's the biggest surprise that you've had so far?
Ooh, biggest surprise. I mean, it's a big surprise, but actually I shouldn't have been surprised because I learned this at Nest too, that people are interested because of the design, because of the user experience, because of the daily interactions. They come because of the design and the usability, and they feel good because of the impact, but no one buys it because of the impact. Yeah. Like, you buy it because it's cool for your kitchen.
You know, I love the fact you brought a couple of Apple references. About 8 years ago, I was talking to one of my friends who worked at Apple too. You probably know him. He worked on the iPhone and some other products. He's a software guy. And he and I were talking about, like, there was, at that time, the big discussion was agile development, ship fast, move things, break, whatever it was called.
I remember this.
And we were talking, because we're old school kind of guys, we're like, there's no craftsmanship anymore in software. And we were really talking about how that's doing. I think AI and what's happening now, there's more craft in product building. What's your vision and view on that? Because I think we have a couple of revolutions going on right now. One, a systems revolution. You see all the tech is connected, so system thinking is one. But now we're going back to the human experience piece, because the human in the loop, or whatever, human plus AI, whatever people call it, the creativity is increased, impact opportunities are going to be increased. So the craft is not just a product, it's also the enablement. What's your thoughts on that?
That's exactly where I was going to go. So it reminds me of what 3D printing did in the physical world. So you were able to very rapidly try things out, see it, feel it, touch it, put people in front of it, say, wow, we took something from our minds and made it real really quickly. We are able to now do the same thing in the digital world. Like, you have an idea, you could very quickly, in 30 seconds, try it out. And that's remarkable. Going from idea to seeing it is faster than we've ever been able to do. Like, and we've been able to try things much quicker than we'd be able to. Like if you were to draw it or put it in CAD, it would take you a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, you forgot what you were working on by
right,
that time.
That's right.
Chain of
so
thought.
You're able to just move much faster. It's changed customer research too. Like where you'd go and you'd do surveys and poll people, like you could do customer research in 30 seconds now. And just, it's not definitive, but like it gives you a first thought that you could then go down the right path.
You know, well, I got you here. I might as well get some more questions answered from you. I'm learning a lot. It's like AI. I'm learning reinforced learning here. You know, digital and internet is now so first party with physical AI. Physical AI is being discussed. And I've been looking at this for a while. I want to get your thoughts on this. When you go to an event face-to-face, people are face-to-face, that's like a scarce resource now. It's like you meet someone, you have an experience, but if you go digital and you know that person, the behavior is different, but a lot of people aren't face-to-face. So when you go to an event, the website and the app would be like a separate thing, a separate department. We're starting to see people wanting that kind of first-party experience between face-to-face and digital. You know, people do things on their LinkedIn. You were talking about some of the things, how you wrote LinkedIn, because we don't know, there's no trust. So you're starting to see trust, and so AI is fusing together the physical and digital world. Digital twin is a term that's kicked around. You mentioned the analytics you can see in real time. So new data, new experiences. So what's your vision as the humans start having these relationships where I might not have met you, but I know you know my friend who I've met. So you're starting to see this new networks forming.
I mean, relationships are all about trust. Like that's the fundamental basis. And yeah, like exactly what you're saying. Like it's like one thing to know, like we've got like 30 LinkedIn connections in common, which I think we do.
Okay.
But it's also like, oh, like did you know that we're really close friends with X, and we actually used to work together on Y, and like there are these kind of much deeper connections than we could get on something like a LinkedIn if you kind of go one level deeper. And that's it. Like I think there's no substitute for in person, and you know like trust and relationship building. I'm definitely a relationship guy. What I've often told my teams over the years is like, you know, products come and go, technologies come and go, but actually the relationships we've built over the decades, like they last way longer than any technology does.
And now we have more mechanisms to kind of connect.
That's right.
All right, final question. What's on your mind these days? What are you optimizing for in the business and life? What's the focus?
Oh, I'm all about growth these days. Personal growth, professional growth, business growth. Whether it's entering new markets, entering new verticals, new categories. Like I'm a big believer, like, you know, in these times of uncertainty, it's time for us to step up as businesses and really, you know, prove our muster that we actually could drive impact and business success at the same time. And Mill is walking the walk on that.
Awesome. All right, well, we'll amplify that because I think that's going to be standard issue at this point, because there's really no reason you can't, because now the innovation's there where you can still make money and be capitalistic.
That's right.
And entrepreneurial.
That's right.
And not have to defer that alignment because they're too close. Well, great to have you on. Great to have you, Matt. Congratulations again. Great conversation. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We are here at the New York Stock Exchange theCUBE. This is our East Coast hub and then Wall Street, connecting Wall Street and Silicon Valley. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE. Thanks for watching.